Boop, 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 boo. Hello everybody, welcome to Xucaboa 5.0, 100% Vanilla Baby, episode number 7. Let's load up our last save and get going. I'd like to say thank you, gracias, obrigado. We have one new subscriber this weekend, William Kahl, so thank you for that. Congratulations to subscriber REMG Gaming for their green monument being featured on City Skylines' official Facebook page. And a special thanks to Isaura for suggesting an updated Xucaboa logo. It's a picture of Xuca, my cat, that I doodled on my phone once. So tell me what you think about it. Do you like it? Is it better? Here is the green monument by REMG. And here is the new Xucaboa logo, or at least a version of it. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. We're going to start up our city. Today we're going to be working on really boosting up the agricultural area to a 5-star industry zone. First, we're going to take a look at our Canal District from episode 6. We had a little bit of crime here by the lumber area, but that's okay. Just taking a quick look. Water is still good, but we're getting a little bit close to the danger zone. We might have to start adding some things if we expand. And I'm thinking of redoing the power area now that we've unlocked some new power plants. But that won't be in today's episode. We'll do that next one. To start getting this agricultural area bumped up to level 3 and then 4 and then 5, I am just going to be throwing down fields and buildings with very little rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going to be doing it so we can get that level 5 and then we'll start doing our decorating. Okay, there are thresholds here. You see we need a certain number of workers and resources created before we can upgrade to the next level. So we're just going to try to do that as quickly as possible. Set it up, set the speed to 3, and start working on some small projects. So our next one, we need 350 workers. Which we have enough spaces for. But to make sure workers go there, I'm going to start de-zoning a little bit of the industrial in our original dirty industry district. Not all at once, but little by little we'll start de-zoning that industry so that way people who used to work there will be thinking about working at the farm area. Next episode, I think we'll put in some geothermal power plants. Those cause no ground pollution, only noise pollution. Alright, so that was quick, level 3. That's good. What do we need now? We need 550 workers. So we're going to start adding a few more fields. We've unlocked some things. Now, the medium crop field is actually not a lot better than a small crop field. It's kind of weird. You'd think that twice the size, it would be twice as good, but in many ways it's not. It's just aesthetically larger and better, but there's not a lot more work. It's not as efficient as a small crop field per square meter, I guess. So we'll throw down a flour mill. We'll throw down some more fields. Now remember, tree fields and crop fields, they're actually just the same. They just produce crops as the raw product, the raw material. So it doesn't matter if they're corn or if they're oranges or whatever, it's all the same according to the game. Now that we're getting some more industry going on, we're going to get a little more traffic here. So I should have done this at the beginning, but we'll put a 3-lane road on the junctions for the off-ramps. And with this, it'll give people coming off the highway a lane that they can use to turn right or left. Only need 1 lane to go onto the highway, that's fine. But to come off, having a turning lane is a good idea. I should have done that in the beginning, to be honest. Also, SKYLINE Boulevard is probably going to need to expand. Seeing all these trucks now using the dirt road to go the other direction. But we'll keep an eye on that. Landfill is looking alright. While we're waiting to have our farm area upgrade, let's consider putting in some bicycle network. We've unlocked a lot of roads and we haven't really done anything with it yet. So I'd like to start adding a bicycle route to encourage people not to use their cars, but to use their bikes instead. So I'm going to start upgrading some of these roads to bicycle roads. Now, something to keep in mind is that, I mean, a lot of people I think are going to have the impression, oh, bikes are good, bikes don't cause traffic, so we should have bike roads for every road. The answer to that is no, you should not. And the reason is because a lot of roads, including bike roads, roads with bicycle lanes, do not have street parking. They take away the parking spaces. As you see when I'm upgrading, if there's a parked car, it disappears because there's no more place to park. So you don't want these on every road. Sims do need a place to park their cars. So be strategic. But here on the boulevard, I don't think I want cars parking, really. I want this to be just for vehicles to move. I don't want there to be any parking. But the side streets we'll leave. We'll just put, maybe on the Calle de la Educación, we'll put some bicycle lanes going towards this industry area, but I guess we'll just stop it right there. That should be fine. Maybe a little bit of bicycle access down in our Canal District too. Oh, this drives me nuts. You can't upgrade, you can't change the roads that are attached to certain buildings, especially the maritime ones, like a ferry building or a harbor or anything like that. So hopefully the Sims can just bike on the sidewalk next to the ferry stop and then get back on the bike lane. And we'll just bring it to Albert Green Street. I did put in quite a lot of bike network, but I think it will be okay. If it seems like there's a lot of people driving around looking for a parking spot, we'll work with that. But right now we're going to encourage biking so that most people choose to use a bike instead of a car. Yeah, I see some people already taking advantage of it over here by the plazas. Yeah, traffic's really not that bad in this city. As long as we keep an eye on it, make adjustments when necessary, I don't think we'll ever fall underneath 90%. Another thing we can do is add some bus lines. Now, it's tempting for people to throw buses everywhere. That's not a great idea. You want to be a little strategic about your buses, and I'll explain about that when I start laying them down. But first thing, the bus station, or the bus depot rather, makes a bit of noise pollution. So we want to keep this away from residential area. I think we'll put it here by the recycle plants for now. And oh, that terrain is ugly, so let's just kind of fix that out, flatten this area a bit, and then smooth the edges. There we go, like it never even happened. Now we've got a biofuel bus depot, and we're going to start adding some lines. Now this city is not very big. I don't want a lot of buses yet at all. But buses should really just be used for local connections. Okay, so we're going to go, I think this first one, I'll kind of try to make a loop that goes around the primary areas of the city. I want to stop by where people work. So over in this industry area. I want to connect to a few different residential areas. Over here by Canal, we'll put a stop, but not going through. We'll just keep it right on the boulevard for the most part, and we'll have it go to the plaza. So a few stops in those residential areas, and by the plaza and by the industry. Should be good. We'll leave the default number of buses for now. This line had 7. And now we'll make a second line too. This one will kind of go into the neighborhoods a little bit more, starting from the plaza. Plaza de Agustina and Plaza de Luis Gay. Alright. And we will just kind of go around the neighborhoods here to pick up anyone who couldn't get there before. But even this is a bit squiggly. The bus lines will be changed and optimized once I think it's ready to move on to another tile. But we're still working in this tile, so changes will be made in the future. If getting close to leveling up to level 4 now, but let's try to speed it up. We'll just keep throwing down some fields. All of our demand bars are more or less equal. And we'll just wait and see. Should happen any time now. So close. Come on. Come, no, up. Oh, it's killing me. There we go. Finally. Level 4. Unlocked a few more buildings. We got a little bit more efficiency, a little bit less pollution, so that's good. We need 800 workers now, so let's really start throwing down some things that have a lot of workers. Like this farm maintenance building is a great one. It's got noise pollution, so we got to make sure it's not too close to any residential, but that's all right. We've got over 800 work spots open now. We just have to wait for people to take them. While we do that, let's start dezoning some of this lumber, this forestry industry specialization. A few blocks of the dirty industry over here. Make sure our power is still connected. Can't forget we still have our sewage in there, the Xucaboa sewage plant is there, so we gotta make sure that keeps its power, otherwise everyone's toilets will back up. And I'm gonna start dezoning along the canal here, because when I was looking at it, I didn't really like that there were buildings so close. I kind of want it to be like a promenade, a little walking thing. Is that a promenade or an esplanade? I'm not so sure now. But some kind of walking path, you know what I mean? Where you go along the water, you sit on a bench, watch the ducks. Something just calm, peaceful, and nice. So we'll start giving that a try now. Come up with some ideas. By the ferry, we'll move that out. I think this zoo is that no, it's amusement park. Oh, ay caramba, that's no good. Okay, this is a thing that happens. I don't know if you all just saw that car drive across the water. That was kind of weird. This is a thing that happens by canals. Is that the terrain gets weird, and you can't see it because the canal blocks it. So there's a good chance that while I'm doing this, it is going to not behave in a way that makes any sense. There's a little bit of bump there, but it's mostly flat. Coming around this corner is going to be tricky. Oh no, see how it bumps right up there? It creates a hill out of nothing. This is going to be a really tricky operation because I've only got a little bit of room to work. But we'll come back to that in a little bit. We're at just about 700 out of 800 workers we need to get to the last level. Throw in some buildings. Our industry demand is actually higher than residential right now by a little bit, which is good, I think. Traffic is still doing all right despite adding all these farm assets. Electricity still doing all right. Just keeping an eye on things. Another beautiful day here. Oh, if you look now, I'm gonna dezone. My zoning got a little weird by this train line because the road. I used a road to mark it out, and let's see if I can get it a little better. That's gonna be a no. That's still the same problem. So I'm just gonna use a path to do the same outline, and this way there's no zoning attached to it, and then we have that big block of zoning off of, what is that, Dixon Street, right there. So we'll do that for now. In this episode, we're not trying to do any substantial changes to the population, but we do want to make sure that as we're adding a lot of jobs, we also add a few more buildings. It'll help with death wave spread, population demographics, making sure that we have all the people we need for the jobs we have. 744, we're getting close. Let's D-zone some more of the dirty industrial. You know what, that's a good looking building. I think we're going to keep that before it disappears. Make it historical. The box factory. We got our burnt hot dogs there. I'll be sad if I D-zone those. I don't really like them there. I don't want any dirty industry right there, but now I've got some sentimental attachment to the hot dogs. They're on fire all the time. A lot of history in those hot dog tanks. You know what? Let's see if this gets people going. We'll add improves worker safety. Something I'm a big fan of in real life. And maybe that'll encourage more people to take jobs at the farm, knowing that there's a lot of workplace safety going on. We're crawling there. This last one's a stretch. Let's just add a few more fruit fields. And see. So close. So close. We got enough resources now. We just need one more person. Oh, no. One more person. Oh, this kills. There we go, finally. Alright. Level 5. Now we can slow the game back down. Let's start thinking about what we want to do. Do not want to leave all that stuff. We've gotten rid of all of that, so we can just D-zone. Or undistrict, rather. We'll make that part of Canal, the greater Canal District. Throw in a little bit of residential. And now that it's daylight, we can start looking at the farm. So let's get rid of all this stuff we threw down. This I'm going to do very fast, which I usually would not ever suggest because these are a lot of jobs. We just gave all these people jobs and now we're taking them away. So that could mess with our demand in a serious way. But I'm going to try to put a few things down quickly to make up for it. So with the Castle PS Orange Groves, I think we're going to add a medium one here. I'm no longer concerned about maximum efficiency. I want this to look nice. To have an agricultural area inside of an urban area. You gotta be thoughtful about how it's gonna look. So we'll add one of those larger fields, or medium fields rather. And I think right next to it, we'll make that look like a greenhouse. Which is like this big building. So now it looks kind of like, all of this is part of the same large orange production situation. Alright. With the medium field, they don't put a building, they put containers in the middle, which is kind of weird, but I guess oranges do go in containers. Much more than they go in silos. So now over here to REMG Gaming Cornfields. Alright, we want to make this look nice. He's famous now. Been featured on the official page. So we're gonna just try to keep these for now so we're not deleting all these full jobs. But let's add a medium field. This comes with a nice farm building in the field, which I like. We'll bump that over. So now that looks like one big field. We'll make these all look like corn. We're in the corn business over here. And with these fields, I think we will place them here. So there we go. Make that one a greenhouse so it looks like a set of buildings. A little more industrial looking. Now we just gotta kind of figure out how to fill in these gaps. The tricky thing with vanilla detailing around farms is that if you add trees or bushes to fill in the spaces, it makes the land, it takes away the fertility of the land, which means your farms don't work very well at all, which is a shame because those gaps are I mean, these are huge square objects, so unless you create a perfectly huge square grid, you're gonna have gaps and irregular shapes, and you want to fill them in. But if you use trees, you're gonna lose the effectiveness of your farm. So you really have to be thoughtful. I use a lot of dirt paths. I imagine tractors would be using the dirt around a field to move around. Let's make sure this has the proper name. We're not going to call it the field anymore. Now it's the corn farm. REMG Gaming Corn Farm. Very nice. And yeah, we'll continue. We need a little bit of, there's going to be a lot of traffic in here. So maybe we'll connect that, give them an alternate in and out. Again, just trying to kind of fill in these blanks without overfilling it. Because one of the cool things about farms in real life is that they're these large but not very decorated areas. You know, the field usually fills an irregular space, but here we can't. We just have square or rectangular fields, so we have to do our best. I think we'll extend the industry zone over, so we could let's put the flour mill a little bit closer to the highway. This is a much more industrial looking building. I don't want it in the middle of the fields. It does create some small amount of ground pollution too. Noise pollution definitely, but also the same amount of ground pollution. See that purple icon there is the ground pollution. So we'll kind of give it its own little area right here. And we'll name this for our new subscriber William. Call it the William Flour Mill. It's a good looking building. The thing that kills me is that it comes with trees, but it also creates ground pollution. So very quickly after you place it, those trees will start to decay a little bit, which makes no sense. Why would you do that? If I were designing this asset, I would make it so that either the trees can't decay or that it just doesn't have trees, because you're gonna have these ugly trees once the pollution starts taking it. Let's add a little bit of industrial grid in here. Now that we've gotten rid of all those jobs, our industrial demand has gone up a bit and our residential has gone down. So we have to kind of add some industrial jobs where we can. While I'm looking at it, we'll just connect this water pipe kind of right across the highway over here to our recycling area. It's time to think about SKYLINE Boulevard and how we are going to make it go past all of this area. And without buying another tile, I'm a bit limited, but I'm thinking I'm just going to have it go create a ring around the tile border. Try not to make it too square, but we're kind of close to the edge, so it'll be a little square. Once we buy another tile, we'll rework it a bit. But I'm not ready for that. I want this tile to be in good shape before I start buying new real estate. All right, we've got a lot of work to do here yet. Can't upgrade that road because the farm field is too close to it. So instead, we'll just delete it. There we go. That's good enough for now. Reconnect that. Add another dirt path where it got deleted. And I think that'll be good for now. Maybe put some industrial there. See what happens. Okay, so we're at the level 5 agricultural zone. The Sala de Jogos Agronomia is at level 5. We got the REMG Gaming cornfields. We got the Castle PS Orange Groves, and we've got the Jorge El Blanco de cow pasture. So it's a nice area. It's a big area. I don't want it to be totally agricultural everywhere. Maybe think about putting in a village in there somehow, but it's a good area. Our next milestone at 6,500 population is going to have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Just take a look at all this. So we'll think about how we will accomplish that in the next episode or two. At some point I'm going to have to buy a new tile, but I'm not there yet. You know what? I think this is a good place to stop. I think we'll wrap up this episode now. Go into the cinematics. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you're enjoying watching the city grow. I am a lot. It is getting... I'm really starting to think about it all the time. When I'm not playing, I'm walking around my own hometown here in Lisbon and just imagining, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? I'm starting to get all kinds of ideas. I'm actually about to go to a museum on city history here in Lisboa and do some research on the development of this city. More for my other project, but still, this is the one I'm doing right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you've liked this, if you continue to watch, you know, why don't you share it with some people? If you can get other people subscribing and watching, that would be cool. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not interested in becoming a famous channel or anything like that, but it's nice to have new subscribers to name stuff for. So thank you again for watching Xucaboa 5.0 100% Vanilla Baby, episode number 7, and I will see you next time.